that the European war had come to an end, but then we still had the Japanese war to fight. And it was really half a blessing. We felt, oh dear, we've still got our troops out in Southeast Asia battling with the Japanese, and here we are celebrating that the war's over, but it isn't. And we were very apprehensive about that and very upset that our boys were being badly treated and being murdered over there, and we couldn't wait for it to be finished. And when the American dropped the hydrogen bomb on Japan, we were absolutely delighted that it brought it all to an end. But during the period between May and September, it was a very trying period, not knowing when the thing was going to finally finish. We were glad that on VE Day, in the April, that the war with Germany had finally come to an end. But then the VJ Day took some time to arrive, and that upset us.
How did you feel about the idea of going into the forces yourself?
Well, I was deferred for a year, so I didn't have to go in until 1946. And, of course, the war finished in 1945. So it didn't really worry me at all, because had I gone in during the war, I'd have been concerned about whether I was going to go into an area where there was the chance of me being killed. So I was very pleased that I'd missed that by being deferred doing secret war work. And of course, when I went in 1946, I had the choice whether to go into the Army or Air Force, and I chose to go into the RAF. I preferred to go into the RAF. I didn't really want to be square bashing with the Army and wearing heavy boots.
And was there anything in particular about the RAF that appealed? Anything you thought you might?
Well, I thought it was rather a glamorous sort of organisation to be with, and I looked forward. When I was conscripted, I looked forward to the time away from home, because I was the youngest boy with 3 elder sisters who, I'm afraid, tended to dominate me a bit. And I really was happy to get away. And so my 9 months in Melksham, Wiltshire, was a bit strange, because I was only able to come home on leave 2 or 3 times during that period. And it was quite a journey on the train from Melksham to Paddington. And, of course, at the end of the course, they posted me to Germany, and on the day that I was due to leave Melksham, I developed tonsillitis, and I'm afraid I couldn't speak. And I had to go on the train from there to Paddington to home for 10 days leave before going across to Hull to get on the ship to go to Germany. And I had to, in fact, show the taxi driver at Paddington the address of my home, because I couldn't speak. And when I got home, my parents put me straight to bed and called the doctor. As it happened, the doctor that came to see me had just been discharged from the army. He was a medical officer. And he just looked at me and said, "I think you're playing truant." I said, "I'm not, I can't speak." He said, "Oh," he said, "that's a good excuse, isn't it? You don't want to go abroad, do you?" And he was so unsympathetic, and he gave me some pills to take, and he said, "How long are you home for?" I said, 10 days. He said, "Right, we'll get you better." And by the 10th day, I got my voice back, and I was on the train to Hull to get on a ship to take me to Germany. No sympathy whatsoever. That was my leave.
But just going back a little bit, can you tell me how the whole process of joining up started? What was the first thing that happened as you began national service?
Well, I think in the May 46, I got a letter saying that you're being conscripted to join the RAF. Will you report at the RAF office in Acton? There's an RAF office, and they will interview there and give you a medical examination and go from there. And that's what happened. I went for my interview. I went for my medical, and they said, you've got flat feet, so you'll wear shoes and not boots. I said, great. And they said that you'll get a letter to say where you have to go to in due course. And I got a letter a week later saying I had to go on the train and go to Padgate near Blackpool for preliminary training. And I think I was there for a couple of weeks. And then they posted me to Melton Mowbray for 12 weeks square bashing. And unfortunately, Melton Mowbray was quite near to Leicester, and more or less all my relatives and friends from where I lived in West London evacuated to Leicester at the beginning of the war, and they were still there after the war. And I used to spend weekends with my uncle and aunt who lived there. And they would in fact ring me up on a Friday afternoon, and you're not supposed to do that, but they would get through to the commanding officer and say, can I speak to Ralph Levy? Which had never happened before. And they said, you are coming for the weekend, aren't you? I said, oh yes, I'm coming for the weekend. And I used to spend my weekends there. But I was there 8 weeks at Melton Mowbray. And then I was posted down to an RAF station, Aston Down in Gloucestershire, for 3 weeks. There was a holding station until they decided to send me to RAF Melksham in Wiltshire to become an electrician. They asked me what I wanted to do. They gave me a choice of jobs. And I think they wanted me to become a radio operator or other jobs that I wasn't even interested in. And I fancied being an electrician, so I went on this course at Melksham, which was for 9 months. And I qualified as an aircraft electrician, which was very interesting. And so once having done that, I was posted to Lübeck in Germany, which was an RAF airfield with meteor jets going to and fro from England to Germany, which, as an aircraft electrician, I had to make sure that it was fit to fly when it landed for its next operation. And I would sign a Form 700 to say that I'd inspected all the necessary parts of the aircraft and all the electrical items were in good working order. And I arranged to renew the battery, because they have a battery in an aircraft that was fully charged, and off it went. And so I was in Lübeck for a few months, and then they transferred me to Wunstorf, which is near Hanover, a much larger airfield. And there I was again in charge of the electrical operations. And then the warrant officer said to me after a while there, would you like to go back to England for 3 weeks and train to look after the link trainer on the unit, which was about 2 miles away from any vibration on the unit. And I was delighted. I came home and trained to look after the link trainer mechanically. And then when I went back, I was the only one that had access to the link trainer room. So as it was quite some distance from where I was billeted, I actually bought a bicycle on the German black market for cigarettes. We were actually given 100 cigarettes a month to smoke, but I wasn't a smoker. And I used that to buy things on the black market. So I bought a bicycle and I used to cycle out to my link trainer unit every morning. And in fact, I was in charge because there was nobody else there. And when the phone would ring once a week on a Wednesday morning to say, this is head office, we need somebody to do some coal heaving, can you send an aircraftsman down to do coal heaving? And I would say, I'm sorry, but I don't have anybody available. I'm here on my own and I can't send anybody. Goodbye. And I got away with that for the whole of my service period. I wouldn't do any coal heaving or any duties. I was in this link trainer. And then Wednesday afternoon was my afternoon off. But occasionally, RAF pilots would like to bring their WAF girlfriends down to link trainer to give them a ride on my link trainer. And of course I got a bit fed up with that. It was my afternoon off. And so when they came down and they got in my link trainer, I would switch on the bad weather. And before long they would stop feeling sick and I wouldn't see them again. So that was quite exciting. And, of course all that came to an end when the Berlin airlift started. And we knew the Russians meant that we weren't going to use the Autobahn or the railways to take food to our sector in Berlin. So the Americans and us decided to have